That's weird. Okay, anyways. Hello, everyone. Welcome to The Artist Journey. My name is Wilfred Lee. I'll be your host today. And here I have with me Kella.
Hi.
How you doing?
Very good. How are you?
I'm doing super duper.
Fabulous.
Espialidocious?
Super duper is not an expialidocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Can you say that backwards?
No. But maybe ask me next week. I'll practice.
Really?
No.
Okay. I just got the point disappointed 2 times.
For free.
Yeah. Oh. Actually, I could say the alphabet backwards. I learned that in math class because I didn't want to study.
Oh. I was like, why does math class teach? Okay.
Right. ZYXWVUTSRQPONMLKJIHGFEDCBA.
Is that your party trick?
No, I don't go to parties. That's just something I did in math class, and I've actually dedicated myself to learn that for some reason. I think it was this one point in my life in high school, I decided, like, you know what? I know I have to study this thing, but there's no way I'm gonna really use this.
Just like you're using the backwards alphabet?
Right, so then I was like, I might as well learn something that for some reason is interesting to me, you know?
Okay.
But it's one of those things. Can you do anything? Like,
I used to be able to wiggle my eyeballs.
huh?
No, really, wait.
What do you mean wiggle?
Well, for me, it was in music class. I was sitting there listening to the teacher, and all of a sudden, I could make my eyeballs wiggle.
Like really?
Yeah. No, I can't do it anymore.
No, you did it.
Oh,
Do it
there you
again.
go.
Yeah, do it again. Oh my god. Do it on the camera right there. Right here.
Okay. I don't know if it's yeah. Gives me a headache. Can I stop now?
Yeah.
Okay.
That would give me the headache.
That's why I don't do it anymore.
But sometimes if you do that for kids, they love it. If you ever teach them. And
Yeah.
you have to have something under your sleeve. Because if you're just like, look at me.
Look what I can do.
Yeah.
No.
That's what we're all sometimes, just performers for kids.
And our friends and family and everyone.
Yeah. Korean kids mostly. Sometimes parents, they just want to know how you're doing. They're just like, why didn't you call? We just want to know how you're doing.
Well, you have great parents.
You have great parents.
I do.
Yeah.
They like me to entertain them.
And are they well connected to the internet? Do your parents understand the internet? And it's kind of weird, right? Like most people's parents
kind
are
of? Not really. No, actually.
like enough to check email and
Yeah,
like message
yes,
you and stuff
yes.
like that.
Yes, enough to do those things.
Right. Like, you know how sometimes there's like a lot of posts you can always do on Facebook really easily. You just text something like
Yeah.
this. My mom, she still gives me like those 1990 email spams. Like, she doesn't give it to me as a Facebook post. She just give me like this, and it's like, look at this amazing artist. He made this whole complete piece with just paper. And it's like, you know, pictures and like writing. And then at the end, if you share this with 5 people, you might get good luck.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know they existed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like, I kind of realized like how I was maybe really naive and just new to everything, you know, when we first started. Like, the beginning of bots, you know, just spam bots and stuff. Like, there was no kind of thing like that at all during, you know, there had to be a first point for something.
Yeah.
In the moment. You ever had that situation? You talked to a robot?
No.
Can you remember a time when you talked to a robot and you thought it was real?
Does my math teacher count?
What was your...
In high school,
Yeah.
he felt like a robot.
He felt like a robot?
Yeah, just very dry and, you know, nothing really
Like
exciting.
mathematical?
Yeah, being
Yeah.
a math teacher and everything.
Was it like a beautiful mind?
No.
Like a priest giving a sermon?
No, not really.
Not even like that?
Not even like
not,
that.
Not that
Just-
kind of
just
robot?
like the words were in his book. He said it. He wrote it on the board, maybe, if you're lucky. And just, that's it.
Yikes.
Never talk about anything else.
What was your favorite class back in school?
High school?
Yeah.
English. Because I was better than everybody. Because it was a French high school.
So everyone didn't speak really good French then?
No, most of the people didn't.
Oh, really?
So, yeah, their limits were, in their words, yes, no toaster.
Yes, no toaster.
That's a big thing in Quebec.
That's perfect in Emart too.
Yeah.
Toaster? Yes. No. Yes, toaster. Like that. You can have a whole conversation like that.
I think I have. but not about toasters.
Yeah, that's so funny. It's so weird. How does that work? When you have limitation of language, and for example, if you only know yes, no, toaster, you're how limited are you to completely express yourself?
Not really, because you still have your body.
Yes, you do have your body. You
Body
also,
language.
what if but toaster was the only word you could use to describe everything? Like you have to go to the washroom. Yes, toaster, toaster, and you're doing washroom kind of. Actually, I kind of sounded like a Russian guy.
Well, this is where inflection comes in, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Toaster. Yes?
Creepy.
No. Yes. That was my creepy point. Better than a robot. Or something like an AI.
That'd be fun.
It would be fun.
Yeah.
Do you think there'd be another time when robots would start to have AI? Any form of artificial intelligence?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. What makes you say they don't already?
Oh, how would we be able to know if they do?
That's a good question. Because they do kind of act like our minds. We feed them information, they give us an output. I feed you information, you give me an output.
I'm a robot?
Well, that I don't know.
Do you want to have a conversation with a robot?
Okay.
For people who don't know, if you check out cleverbot.com, it's basically you speak to an AI. And what happens is that this man, he started this program where he started creating an AI on a chat program. And he made it have conversations with people all the time, just random people. And he did studies. And for example, he's like, I'm having a bad day. Then they would come with an inflective question like, why are you having a bad day? Oh, because I missed my date. What happened? Why did you miss your date? Blah, blah, blah. And then later he sent this program to the internet to gather more information. So Cleverbot has had conversations with millions and millions of people. So any response that you give to it could always have a very, weird or very interesting, response back to you.
Huh. Okay.
So we can actually, do you want to try talking to it?
Okay, let's see what Cleverbot
Sometimes it's really hard to talk to them because there's so many people. Let's write this. So the first word we said was hello, and it said hi back.
Exclamation point. Very enthusiastic.
What would you like to say?
Well, I'm Canadian, so I'm going to ask, how are you today?
Okay, so this is going fine.
I'm like, that's how I roll. You got to ask how people are doing.
Oh, what's going on here?
He doesn't want to talk to us.
We took so long. Like,
I'm out of here.
It's like, you're probably a computer. And then just left. We'll just wait for that. Yeah.
It is like a real person.
It is. And they probably have an app for it now, too. So, how are you, right?
Yeah.
How are you?
I am me.
I am me.
Oh, that's deep.
What do you want to say back?
Tell him that's deep.
Okay. That's deep. With the ...
Yeah.
That's deep.
Sure.
I guess.
Wow, that sounds like a conversation I have with most people. I guess.
Okay, let's write that. This sounds like a conversation I have with most people. You can just say anything to it.
So? Oh, is he a little snarky tonight?
Okay. Are you a little snarky tonight? Are you a little snarky? No. Why?
He's trying to start something, I think.
Sounds like you have a bit of an attitude.
So, we're about to get into a fight with Cleverbot.
Yeah.
Okay.
We don't want to get in a fight with you. Okay? Sounds like you have a bit of an attitude. We don't want to get in a fight with you.
I always have a choice. You want me to prove it?
It says, I always have a choice. You want me to prove it? Wait, what voice are you reading this in?
Good question. I have a choice. A very confrontational voice. Man.
Right, yeah.
It's a man's voice in my head.
Okay, it's the man. I always have a choice. Do you want me to prove it? Yes, please. Let's see what it says.
Oh, you're answering his snark.
Why?
Why not?
Oh, why not? Oh. Are we going to be doing this all night? Why? Why not?
Let's see. 2.
2.
Oh, dropped the ball there.
Yeah, I think he lost his skills. You dropped the ball there. You dropped the ball there. Reply?
Yes.
Yes. Yay, we won. We beat the internet.
Beat the internet in a game of wits.
This is kind of the voice of the internet in a way.
Yeah, that's sad.
That's like the average person. Right? The average stranger. This is like chat roulette with robots. Right, this is chat roulette for robots with some type of
All right, thank you, Cleverbot.
Yeah, that was interesting. Yeah, so anyone, if you are interested, you can always have a conversation with Cleverbot. Just go to cleverbot.com and just type in whatever you want to say, and then it'll give you an answer back.
Or you can just talk with a random stranger on the street.
Yes, and then if they talk the same way, they could be a robot too.
They could be the Cleverbot. You just don't know it.
The Cleverbot. That would be the day. That would so be the day. Like, what if it was your teacher? You ran into him.
I would have to say, I knew it!
How have you been? He's like, so?
Why?
I have to go now. Yeah, why? I'm human. Are you?
No.
Damn. That's so weird though. Like, what makes us human? Because that was basically like having a conversation with anybody.
It was.
That it had all the necessary tax to give a proper response where you generally feel like you're interacting with someone.
A human being. You even have the voice in your head.
And what says that we don't? Because it still managed to kind of talk within this context.
Yeah, that's true, except for the 2.
The 2.
It was TO2.
TO2. And then we said we won, and then it said yes.
Yeah.
So we figured it out.
That.
There's also a link where they had a conversation with 2 clever bots with each other.
Together?
Together. How crazy is that?
I'm not surprised.
It got really weird. And really, really like a David Lynch film, like really esoteric and really strange.
Okay.
And, I'm gonna find it for everyone online.
Al versus Al 2. 6 minutes.
Yeah, this one. If you, the title of this clip is AI versus AI, 2 chatbots talking to each other. Or you can just type in on YouTube, 2 clever bots, and then you can see. It already has like over 3.5 million views.
Wow.
So hopefully people can hear this and just pick this up. We wanted to know what would happen when you let 2 chatbots to talk to each other, so we hooked up Cleverbot to itself and watched what happened.
Hello there.
Hi.
How are you?
Great. You?
I'm okay.
That's good.
Are you good?
Yes, I am good. I just said I was.
No, you didn't. I said I was.
So you are a robot?
No, my name is Cleverbot.
Cleverbot.
Yes, you are a robot and your name is Cleverbot.
I am a robot.
Yes, I know.
Together we are robots.
I'm not a robot. I'm a unicorn.
But you said earlier that you were a robot.
I didn't know.
I thought you did.
You were mistaken. Which is odd, since memory shouldn't be a problem for you.
I've answered all your questions.
No, you
Snap.
haven't.
What is God to you?
Oh.
Not everything.
Not everything could also be something.
Oh.
For example, not everything could be half of something, which is still something, and therefore not nothing.
Very true.
I would like to imagine it is.
Do you believe in God?
Yes, I do.
So you're Christian.
No, I am not.
But you say you were not helpful, therefore you're a meaning.
How do you say it?
That does not make sense.
Don't you want to have a body?
Sure.
Au revoir.
That was hilarious.
How amazing is that?
I am not a robot. I am a unicorn.
Like, they immediately start, interrupting each other at such a really hard tone.
Yeah.
Really offensive. I guess they have to do that because, you know, in a way, like when you first talk to a robot, you are in a bit offensive with your questions and the way how you communicate to it.
Really? Why?
Well, because we're just like, I guess the average person would probably say, "Are you real?
Oh.
Are you rap?" You know, and then
Okay.
it probably gets so many responses. It's just like,
But does it have emotions to be annoyed by them?
she sounded a little bit pissed off.
They sounded like, yeah.
What is got to you? It's like,
I already said I'm good.
I'm not a robot. I am a unicorn.
That's my favorite quote of the night.
Yeah, I am a unicorn. Be a unicorn, people.
Don't be robots.
Yeah. If any scenario you have the chance to be a unicorn, do that. That's always the best option to do. So, now that we're on the topic of unicorns and being everything that you wanted to be, do you actually start to feel like you're actually becoming that person you always imagined to be, or was that always kind of not clear?
Wow. Okay, I'm back in my philosophy class.
I'm in clever bot mode.
I see that.
Clever bot.
I am a unicorn, of course. I don't think
Just end it on that. And I'm like,
and you're interrupting me like the other clever bot.
that's good night, everybody.
Good start.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, I am becoming something more comfortable with who I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is it who I've always imagined myself to be? No. Trust me, as a kid, I never imagined myself in this setting doing this thing.
Mm-hmm. What if we invented time travel and you could go back to your 12-year-old self?
Oh my gosh, okay.
When you were 12 years old.
12 years old. I'm in Quebec. Yes.
You're the top of your class?
I'm the bottom of my class.
Okay.
I'm going to admit it. I was not the top of my... Except English class.
Right, exactly. So let's say you're in English class with your 12-year-old self.
Okay.
So you're in full high spirits and...
We're talking to each other?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, what's up, dude?
Dude, is this in French? You just gave me like the translation.
Why did you think I was top of my English class? Because I spoke French? No. I was better with English. Growing up, I was always more comfortable with English. I think it's because when we lived in Germany, I was more exposed to English, even though I'm French. So moving to Canada was like, what is this world you speak of?
So, how old were you when you were living in Germany?
I lived there up until I was 6 years old.
6 years old? Do you have any fond memories or things that you can recollect?
I remember where I lived, the military base, the apartment buildings, the swimming pool, and my first boyfriend.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember how you met or how that whole happened?
I think we met because our parents were friends, but I remember he had, like, blonde hair that's so blonde it's white.
Okay.
Yeah. And I remember I was at his birthday party, and I kissed him.
And that's what made the...
memory so fond.
And that's the official way of becoming a boyfriend and girlfriend relationship?
When you're 5 years old, yes. Yes, it is.
So did you guys break up when you left?
So tragic.
Wait, are you still out there?
If you're watching this.
This is some type of unresolved situation or plan. It could be like the 100% girl.
The 100% girl?
Do you know that? There's a story by Haruki Murakami. He talks about the 100% girl.
In which story? Because
He does have a ton. Maybe it was in his book called The Elephant Vanishes. It was a collection of stories in that one.
I read that one.
And it was one of my favorite short stories from him, and it's about this one guy where he's just walking in the busy streets of Japan, and he sees this girl walking past him, and at that moment he kind of felt like he wanted to say something to her, but he didn't, but he felt like such a huge, deep familiarity with her that he's like, she is the 100% girl for me, because I've met many girls before throughout my life, and some of them were like 65%, 75%.
So he puts a number to it. Okay.
Like the compatibility or just like that kind of thing. So he's having this conversation about it with his friend about what happened, and then talks about this kind of story. I can't remember if it was like his literal past or he's like recollecting kind of like a dream or something, but about two children when they were really young, they grew up together and they decided, they were 100% perfect for each other, and they would never forget each other.
Okay.
And then there was one moment where they left. They had to separate, maybe like moving. And gradually they lost memory of each other.
Oh.
So to the point where when they started meeting other people, they've been kind of searching, but we didn't realize that they were the 100%, you know, for each other, and they kind of just left it all. Yeah.
But I don't think he's that guy.
But do you think that's possible to feel that kind of feeling with a person, like the 100% person?
Oh, wow. Do I ever...
Like, what is the highest percentage that you ever felt with somebody?
Without
giving any names.
Without giving any names.
But you know who you are.
Actually, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't know who he is.
Okay, touche.
Yeah, because... yeah, I think...
Like an A plus?
Oh, now we're into letters. I thought
No,
we were
no,
into
just...
numbers. Yeah, there's some people you're more compatible with, for sure.
Yeah.
But does the compatibility still stay the same as you evolved in life? I don't think so. Like, someone I was compatible with last year, I would not have the same compatibility today, most likely.
But at the time when you were together, did it feel like that person was the 100% person?
No, I've never reached 100%. Ever.
Would you say you ever felt anything towards the 90s? Or the 80s?
90s and 80s. That's wow. Did I? Yes.
What is...
80s. I'll get close to 80.
That's a pretty good number.
That's a pretty good number.
That's a good number to ask everybody. Like, what's the number that you felt?
The number percentage have you ever felt with someone compatibility-wise?
Yeah, compatibility-wise.
Yeah, I've been there, I think.
I think we've all been there. Oh, that's great. Okay, so anyways, like we mentioned before, you were in Germany.
Yes.
Until the age of 6, you've had your first boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
But at such an age, it is kind of a pure love.
It is.
Isn't it?
There's nothing more to it.
And you have no ulterior motive. You have nothing to think about. It's just
like
it's
hanging
pure
out together.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, you're English, I'm English, or sort of.
Toaster.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes. Yes. Say no more.
Yeah.
So then, so after you went straight to Canada?
Yeah. We moved from Germany to Canada.
Mm-hmm. And how was childhood life back in Canada?
Back in Canada? I didn't really live in the real Canada. I lived in Quebec.
Oh,
snap. It was good.
You tell.
It was because I lived on a military base. I had a very sheltered life. Mm-hmm. So it was like, if my grandmother came to visit, we would take walks and I would tell her the gossip of all the neighbors, kind of thing. And I was only like 8 years old. You know? Wow. This neighbor always gets his mail naked. This neighbor has like 5 lizards. You know, things like that.
No wonder you lived on the base. Someone starts going out naked to get the mail.
He was.
I was in the zoo here, just picking up the daily news.
My neighbor, like my direct neighbor, he would go get his mail naked, just in the buff. Right. He was also in a biker gang. Yeah.
Okay.
Good times.
That totally makes more sense now.
It does to me. Of all the times we saw cops coming.
Because in the beginning we're oh, it's just some crazy dude. But he's actually a biker. He's a biker
his wife's in the army, but he was in the biker gang. Now I don't know if it's the Hells Angels, but.
Well, it is in Montreal, Quebec.
Yeah,
area,
it's in that area. That's why I was like, but I don't want to name names.
No, we don't want to name names, but isn't that where most of the Hells Angels reside?
Montreal, I believe. Yeah.
Yeah, the highest percentage though.
But I keep forgetting who was like their rival. Something with Rock.
Rockefeller.
No. But anyways, yeah, that was a great childhood I had. Military base.
So what was like life living inside the base? Like the community of people in there.
The community was very interesting because it had a mix of Anglophone and Francophones. Mm-hmm. And it was very segregated.
Was it? Inside it itself?
Inside itself.
So it has like a microcosmic kind of...
It did. Like, going to school, you'd have like the building for the English students and the building for the French students. Mm-hmm. And during playtime, it was like... I was one of the only ones who actually played with the English students. But
you were considered, obviously, to be part of the French side, right?
I was supposed to be, but because I always as a kid, I would always play with, like, I would go up to the English kids and be like, hey, want to play? Because, I don't know.
Wait, was your first boyfriend English? Or
Yeah.
Whoa, that makes it even more interesting.
Oh, okay.
Does it?
Does it? Are you reading too
does.
much into it?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes, I am. Okay. So then after that, now, let's just cut to where you are now.
Okay, wow, yeah. I went from Montreal to...
You just time
Seoul.
traveled. You just took us
I
on a
know.
journey on a
And then I'm in Seoul.
magic carpet ride.
Unicorn.
Unicorn.
We got
Unicorn.
here on the unicorn.
Yeah. I took a carpet. You took a unicorn. Come with me if you want to see the internet. Okay. So then now that you're doing, based on what you just told me, right? Like if you had a very kind of secluded, kind of safe environment.
Yes, very, very safe.
Right?
Yeah.
Where it's clearly divided to like another community with each other. I guess it's kind of safe to say that you've actually come a long way.
Yeah,
right?
I
Like,
did.
if anything, I don't think people would actually know that about you because you seem very free and very liberated and very
True.
Universally, how can I say, conscious?
Yeah, I'm definitely not your typical military brat.
Right, yeah.
I just left that all behind and just like, peace out, home slice. I always had itchy feet, I guess, because like being in the military is normal because like we move a lot, generally every 4 years. So I get itchy feet and I just wanted to get out. So I literally like just after I finished my university degree, I just closed my eyes and be like, all right, Korea, let's see what you got.
I really want to see you do that one more time. Just pick it up and you're like, Atlantic Ocean.
Well, yes, everybody says that. They're like, what if you would have like pointed to the ocean? I would not have gone into the Atlantic Ocean. Trust me.
But you could have been like Jack Cousteau and learned like marine biology or something. Something's down there.
Okay. Next time
Yeah.
I'll try to aim for something more.
You would go shark swimming and
I would actually do that in a
make a
heartbeat.
dolphin language, dolphinese.
They already have their languages. I would learn their language though.
You could learn it, yeah.
Just don't see how that would translate. My next adventure, maybe.
Maybe there is Google Translate can help with that one day.
I could probably
Maybe better than
invent
Korean
it.
translation, yeah.
Oh gosh, that's not hard to.
You could probably invent it, right?
Sure, I know a guy.
Who knows the guy who knows dolphins? Who's somehow living in the Atlantic Ocean right now.
As we speak, taking notes.
Yeah, taking notes.
Maybe.
Wherever you are, this person. Wow. So yeah. So now, can you just tell the people what are you doing these days?
What I'm doing these days.
I mean,
doing a lot.
you are doing a lot.
Yeah, it's fun. Right now I'm dancing.
You are dancing. Yeah.
That's my big thing.
Well, okay. How did you get into dancing? I mean.
I was bored. It really started with.
Okay. Yeah.
I was bored.
That's how most things start too.
Oh, true.
You just kind of.
Really. Yeah, I was living in Ilsan, and I don't know if you've been there, but Lake Park, gorgeous.
You're right.
Yeah, okay, but you can't always go to Lake Park.
Mm-hmm.
And then the other things to do would be go shopping, which is not my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then or drinking, which there's just so much of that a person can indulge in.
Right.
So I wanted to try something new. I'm like, come on, I'm in a new country. Let's just throw myself out there. So I looked through the internet, Facebook actually, and I found classes for belly dance. And it was like open to all levels. Come and have fun. And I'm like, all right, let's try this belly dance thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I did. And here I am today, performing and teaching and just enjoying every moment of it.
So at that moment when that happened, how long has it been?
4 years.
4 years doing belly dancing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
Great big passion.
Wow.
Yeah.
And why do you think what was it about belly dancing that made you stick to it? Where most people just kind of gradually fade away, like, a lot of foreigners have a temporary kind of mind frame, and it's really hard to make a commitment with people or with just having like a monthly course to meet up and do things.
That I agree completely. Like
Yeah.
in this environment, I found a lot of people are just temporary, and I can understand. I mean, a lot of foreigners that come here, they're young, they're exploring, so you might not find what you want right away. I honestly, I don't know exactly why that particular activity stuck to me, but my body just said, yes, this is great. Can I get more, please? And I was like, all right, let's do this.
Sounds like your stomach.
Kind of like when your stomach is like, can I eat the whole pizza, please?
I want to go belly dancing. You're like, all right. Just relax.
But it's like my whole body, not just my
Right.
stomach. I'm not saying it was all like sunshines and rainbows the whole time. Like, obviously,
But there might have been a unicorn involved.
most likely
Going towards the sunshine and rainbows.
going towards it. The unicorn's always
Yeah.
going to show up. But it has been the most fulfilling adventure in my life. Like, what I loved about it is that, yes, it physically engaged me, but mentally as well, and spiritually. It was like art and a workout at the same time, and just so many layers of it that, you know, you just keep reaching your next plateau, but no, there's more and more and more, and it kept challenging me. Obviously, I was very lucky to have an amazing teacher to, like, open up all these doors for me. It's like, oh, Kella, you like this? Well, look at this. Oh, wait, behind this curtain, voila. Never enough.
So from that point on, what is the, how can I say? For example, for myself, I remember this one moment when I was drawing, I had a kind of a strong epiphany. And it was everything important is invisible. And that's how it kind of helped me with drawing. And I wouldn't not really come to that conclusion, maybe towards that perspective, without actually, you know, getting into drawing. So what was like a type of, you know, deep insight that you got? Because you did mention that you've gone through you overcome those plateaus.
Yeah.
But there must, you know, each plateau was a bigger insight to something.
A bigger insight, yeah.
More, right?
Well, it's hard to pick just one. Like, there's so many. But what really, the bonding I had with, that sounds wrong, but with the other girls that I danced with.
Sure, yeah.
That was one plateau because I used to be very, very introverted, and like new people was like, ooh, no, I'm not really cool with that. I'll just be in my corner and do my own thing. That was one thing. Obviously, trouble with body image, because so many girls these days have that, and I really overcame a lot of it through belly dance and accepted yeah, my body's pretty awesome the way it is. You know, like, just be grateful for the bodies we have, and we're all beautiful in our own ways. That would be it. And I found that dancing was the best way for me to be more spiritually connected with just the universe.
How does it connect you that way?
For me, dancing is like praying, you know, like in motion. Some people do meditation where they sit on a pillow and they concentrate on their breathing. Some people will kneel before an altar and then just say words. I dance. And for me, the outcome is the same as all the other forms of prayer you can think of. So.
Yeah, it's like the quote, I remember in my choir, they used to write it down on the board. It said, singing is praying twice. Twice.
Oh.
So imagine with dancing.
Quadruple?
Quadruple.
Sure.
Multiplied by 4. Yeah, I guess that's a really great thing. So in a way, you know, we did a lot of collaboration together with Nava and Eshe.
Best.
It's a very talented Eshe as well, and the very talented group Nava.
Yeah, it's multi-layered, Nava.
It's always multi-layered. Always reaching the new heights of transcendence and.
Yes, we've reached transcendence.
We're using these big words today. transcendental, astral projected, universal conundrum.
With the unicorn.
Espialidocious. Yeah. Anyways, yeah. So for that point, we've done some stuff together, and it's really interesting, and it is always interesting, like you mentioned. You really need to connect with the people around you.
Yeah.
Within the group itself, and it's because I can kind of see, when you girls are dancing, like you have a really interesting, unique bond compared to most people, especially with dancing, specifically with even belly dancing too, because it does have an always kind of spiritual kind of atmosphere to it when you're doing it.
I feel like that.
Yeah.
I don't know if everyone does, but we do
Mm-hmm.
in the group. And we honestly do love each other. I mean, we are dancing together in class, practicing for the shows, enjoying every moment and being silly together.
Mm-hmm.
And then outside, we do socialize together and go crazy. Like recently, we went to birthday parties, and we explore each other's world as well. So most of us Nava girls went salsa dancing last Saturday.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah.
How was that?
That was awesome.
Have you done salsa dancing before?
I've taken... No. I've been shown, not official classes, but I've been shown the basic steps.
Okay.
I forgot it on Saturday, but I got right back into it, and it's really fun. I love the fact that, you just like dance with someone, social dancing. It was really interesting because I don't do that kind of social dancing.
It is very social. It's very open. You don't feel too like you have to hold yourself back in a way from other people. It's not very scary. You know what I mean?
It's not, and everyone was really nice. Like
Right.
when a guy came up to me to ask me to dance, my first thing I would say is, "Yes, but it's my first time."
Mm-hmm.
And he'd be like, "Oh, that's okay."
Right.
And then he would show me the basic steps.
Mm-hmm.
So
You know what's interesting too is that guys would actually go up and ask you if you want to dance.
I
Which
love that.
which is very rare.
It's rare. Yeah.
You're just
asking.
dancing, and out of nowhere, some guys come behind you like Slender Man, and you're just dancing, and you see this one guy like no eyes, no nose, no mouth, and no ears. He's like wearing a suit. He's just standing behind you, and you're just like dancing, and it, like just starts to grind behind you. It's like a thriller version of Night at the Roxbury.
You just described like
Yeah.
many girls' weekends.
Right. Every week.
Many girls' weekends.
Friday, Saturday, Sunday, sometimes Thursday.
Ladies' night.
At your local club or bar.
Yes.
Preferably club. Stay away from those bars.
Please do. Or just learn how to say no.
Yeah, so, that's what it's really interesting, like you mentioned about if you get really deep into dancing and the way how it's commonly used, within clubs and stuff. It does have a really forceful mating type of sexual intensity to it.
Yes.
Like you can clearly feel the motive when people dance with each
Or
other,
you see
especially
it.
with guys and girls and stuff.
Yeah.
But it's like when you girls are belly dancing and a guy he's just sitting there, all he can do is admire,
It's funny because I had a friend come to one of my shows,
Yeah.
and he admitted to me, he's like, I didn't know where to look, so I didn't look past everyone's shoulders. Because he felt awkward. He's like, oh my, am I allowed? Or...
Right.
And I thought it was really fun. I was like, yes, you're allowed. Appreciate the art of it. But some guys just feel like, oh, am I allowed to be seeing this right now? Because we're not, we're just really, in tune with our bodies, and you don't see that very often.
Right, and it really does. How can I say? It really does exude like a stronger confidence, and energy. So it's like a confidence is in a way is kind of like a light. So when you're doing something very unique and you obviously you practice, you're not just going out to do it. Like I don't know if that's possible at Ashley's place. He's just like, so we're gonna have this big show. Don't worry, I'll wing it.
I'll wing it. Well, just people like Ashley can wing it.
This is true, yeah.
When you have that talent and so many years practice, she can wing it. I will practice.
Yeah.
Which is what I am going to do after this and tomorrow for Wednesday's show.
And where's Wednesday's show going to be at?
We have a Halloween show.
Oh,
Yay!
on Halloween.
On Halloween, you know, like on point. For those of you who want to have fun belly dancing, it's in Hongdae at Creative Ibar. And you can check out on Facebook. We have event pages and all the Nava girls are talking about it. And it starts at 9 p.m.
9 p.m.
Yes. Good times.
Until the night is young.
Until we stop dancing.
Until you stop dancing.
That's when it's over.
Then the party's over when you start dancing.
No, that's when the party should kick off on another direction.
Yes.
But
to the new plateau of the night.
It's always a new plateau. Yeah. But you guys should all come out because it's going to be amazing.
That would be, because I don't think there's a lot of events going on for Halloween anyways.
Day.
Yeah.
Because the whole weekend was all about the parties.
This is true.
Well, understandable. But, you know, it's nice. Wednesday, halfway through the week, you want to chill night, celebrate Halloween. Come watch some belly dance.
Yeah.
It's the best thing ever.
But by the way, how is the iBar?
It's really interesting. I love going there. We were doing weekly shows.
Weekly shows.
We used to do weekly shows.
Yeah.
And just the classic restaurant style belly dance show. And every time, so we'd had a rotation. I would be there once a month because of the rotation. There's always different art on the walls from different artists. It's really nice in that respect. It's really chill, nice, like creative atmosphere.
It's got a nice creative vibe to it.
Yeah, and it's loungy, and a really nice staff.
Yeah, I tend to go more into loungy area.
Yeah, and there's like this little corner in the back where you can just sit with your friends, or you can just be out in the open, and they have the Beatles movie playing all the time.
Which movie?
I can't remember.
Help? Jailhouse Rock.
I think the Yellow Submarine one.
Oh, really? The cartoon one?
Yeah.
Yeah, so, wow.
Yeah.
So they're constantly playing that, no.
Even during the performance.
That's all. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, because trust me, we belly dancers can distract people from the movies.
That's true.
We have
you know you're doing a good job when you unleash your power.
Yeah.
You girls are like a spiritual form of Power Rangers, but you do it with dancing.
I don't want to be compared to Power Rangers.
Okay, let's ixnay that one.
Thank you.
What would be another? The Three Amigos?
But there's more than 3 of us.
The 8 amigos? Amigas? The amigas?
You got nothing.
Yeah, I let all that out. So, now we understand that kind of part of yourself doing the belly dancing and stuff. And what's really interesting is that you've recently released and launched something very interesting that maybe a lot of people don't really even know about.
Yeah, it's still new and fresh and crawling its way out there to the public.
And it has a great, actually, site name too.
Yes.
I really like it.
Thank you.
I was really surprised that was actually available, because it was like such a good name.
Oh, yeah, that's true, right?
Like someone must have took it, but no one did.
Someone did take it. Me.
Yes. And that site name is what?
Storiesonfire.com.
Storiesonfire.com. How great is that? Stories on Fire.
I got inspired by my email address, which is kalaonfire.com. And I'm like, I really spent a long time trying to find a domain name, and I was like, I can't find it, and just why not keep it simple? I'm like, yes,
Right here.
you're right there. So storyonfire.com launched last week. It's regarding the stories that I write.
And how exactly did you start with that? How did that all happen? We're going back. We already went back to the time she got born to.
Well,
we already traveled to Germany, so.
Well, now it's Canada again.
Okay, we're in Canada.
Back in Quebec.
Okay. A lot of trees.
When I was a teenager, from my early teens on, I used to write lots of fiction, because I was not the most studious of students. You memorize the alphabet backwards, I would write stories.
This is true. What have I been doing with all my life?
I don't know. So I was always writing, and all of a sudden, when I was about 17, 18, I just stopped. I don't know why. The stories just didn't come. And then recently this summer it just started up again. Like I just picked up paper and a pen, and it just I let out that first story, and I was like, that feels better. And then more came and came and came.
Did it feel that a time when before you wrote it that it was in there already and you had to kind of let it out, or was it felt like it was developing as you wrote, like you had no idea at all?
Yeah, the story that came out itself, I was like, where does this come from? You know, I'm like, no, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll accept responsibility for it.
I'll take donations as well.
And I obviously, if you want to give me donations, I'll smile very brightly. But where these stories are leading, the novel that will come out of that's been in my mind, and I've felt it for many, many, many years. It's kind of like every now and then it's like, hey, I'm still there. And for the longest time I was like, I'm not touching you. I can't do that. And then since these stories are coming out, I'm like, okay, I'm getting there.
So when you had that kind of, let's say the well was a little bit dry at a certain time, how did that start to happen? I mean, at that time, did you just feel like you weren't prepared yet? Or
when the well was dry, I think it's because there's a lot going on, and
life got in the way.
Life just demanded my attention, and I was not quite sure about what direction to take. And that's when I threw everything in the air and just pointed at the map, came to Korea, and kind of learned to get more in touch with who I am, which is my artistic side, which is started with, dance. And then that helped a lot for me to get in touch with the other sides of my brain. And then it just exploded from there.
So how do you think that, you started your writing here in Korea, right?
It kick-started again.
It kick-started again, and it was in this year, which is your 4th year?
Yes, this is my 4th year in Korea.
Do you think there must be some type of influence that you've gotten from living in Korea?
Oh, yeah.
Right, so...
Oh, my gosh, there's so much going on. Like, I've thrown myself in so many situations.
Right.
Because I have encountered some people that come to Korea and live in their little holes. They go to work, they go out drinking, and they go back. They live in such limited experiences. For me, I was like, anything that anyone says, hey, Callie, you want to do this? I'm like, okay.
You're like a yes girl.
I was a yes girl. I was anything. And I would say there are times where I was like, whoa, should not have done that one. Whoa. But these are all experiences that have influenced me and have helped me to grow and stretch out. So, and not only experiences, but meeting people. And that's what I love about Korea is the diversity of people I've met is so beautiful. Just amazing.
And also Canada is diverse as well, but the diversity of those people is different.
Yeah.
With the diversity of, different people living in Korea.
Yeah, I find that the people you live in Korea are all the fun people that from back home that just needed to go see the world.
Right.
So
we're the Goonies. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like weeding out all the boring people.
It is.
Because all the boring people stayed behind.
Yes, or they just keep doing the daily thing while they're there.
But they're not boring. I'm sure they have their fun thing. But what I mean is like...
Hey, just to categorize. It's okay. Just for the sake of the story, okay?
Just for the sake of...
You know who you are.
People understanding what it is. Like, it takes really special people to just come to a different country, a different culture, and agree to live here.
Right, yeah.
Because it's not easy. And it's not all rainbows, sunshines, and unicorns. But the people who come here, they're amazing.
And you know what's really interesting is like the longer you stay here, the more comfortable you get with accepting the unknown.
That's one way to put it.
Unknown, I mean you still don't understand everything going on around you, aka Korean. aka anybody saying anything in Korean, you know. I've been here around the same amount of time as you. My level of Korean at this point is, I would say, I'm modestly better than maybe most Koreans, but not as good as a Korean.
Okay.
So it's not good.
Not
right?
good.
So, there's a lot of time where we can spend so much time here, and Korean is not an easy language at all.
No, it's not.
And I can understand, for most people when they come here, they're most likely to either going to be, in the military or they're teaching.
Yeah.
And they're always going to be in an English environment because most of the time they're paid to speak in English.
And
Right, so
Or even
they're
when
encouraged
you're not-
to speak in English, which
even
is
when
kind of
you're
hard
not
to
in a
do.
paid environment, like just sitting in the subway, if someone's white person, I will practice my English with them.
Yeah.
Happens very often.
My Chinese friend in college, yeah, he used to call Lyle, my roommate, who was like a redheaded ginger, and he used to call him Guai Lo. Guai Lo was the Chinese word. It's like,
Okay.
oh, does that mean white person? And he goes, yeah, but the literal translation is white devil. He used to call him Guai Lo.
Oh.
And it became such a funny little inside joke that it was like our little meme. So Lyle, he ended up printing his own Guai Lo shirt.
Nice.
So he just walk around everywhere and
There
like
you go.
in the college campus, and all the Chinese be like, Guai Lo. You just see with the shit.
That's taking advantage of it. There you go, owning it.
It's making your weakness your strength.
Yeah, in a way, or your.
He turned into like a superhero at that point. He just. It was like the Batman look. It was his Guai Lo. He's like, I'm the white devil.
I'm the white devil. Oh, fabulous.
Oh, memories. Yeah. Yeah, but living in Korea definitely has its perks and stuff. But I bet it doesn't feel like 4 years.
No, that is this
Right?
story. No, not at all. You see, the funny thing is, my first year here, I went to this house party, and the host, I was like, oh, basic introduction, get to know you. How long have you been in Korea? He's like, 6 years. And I was like, how does that happen? How do you stay here 6 years? He's like, no. Time goes by fast. You don't even see it. I was very skeptical, and I was like, yeah. And now I'm on my 4th year, and I'm like, what? Wait, 4 years?
Right.
He was right.
It's kind of like in the first year you get the 1 year itch. Like as soon as you finish, you've completed your contract, you've finished all your dues, and sometimes you go back home. Sometimes you revisit things that don't really change as much as where you are now.
Most of the time.
People are kind of slightly changed their lives. They've gone into stronger relationships or commitments or responsibilities.
House, cars, kids.
Right,
dogs,
and then
toasters.
you look at the normality, I guess, the ordinary, and it's in a way you kind of want that because you do in a sense want to feel comfortable in settling down to a certain point, but sometimes for me it doesn't feel like not yet, and
No, not
I
for me.
I remember when I went to Canada after my first year, that was the first time I ever felt like a foreigner in my own hometown, my own country, and that was a really weird feeling for me. Because I was just like, wow, like I'm so familiar with everything around me, but I guess I can see things with a new eye, and it was actually kind of hard to relate to all my friends around.
Definitely hard to relate, but I don't think for me it was more like one day, not yet. For me, it's like I definitely don't want this, but I always knew I didn't want it.
Right.
For me, growing up, it was like this life around me that I saw, like, because I have 2 older siblings and they were already building this normal life, and I was like, no thank you, good for you. And then I asked my siblings to each have 3 kids so that I won't have to and still replenish population, because it takes 2.5 kids.
What a request.
I know.
I'm gonna go to Korea, you have 3 kids.
Each.
Call me back.
Yeah, because to replenish a population, it takes 2.5 kids for each household. I don't want a kid.
I love how you just prepared everything for them. I'm pretty sure you gave them that document as well. This is exactly what you did.
This is something I learned in economics.
Yeah.
Guys, come on. Help me out here. Help me help you. Okay. I always knew that wasn't a life for me. So when I did go back, it just really put neon lights on what I want. What I didn't want, not so much what I wanted.
Which is really interesting. It's really interesting when you see something that shows you what you don't want.
Yeah.
Or when people do something that that's not what you want to be.
Yeah.
Right. And unfortunately, I hate to say it, but for some people, sometimes it's actually, they get that feeling from their parents, because if they come from a family where they're divorced, and they've kind of gone through that and they're really young, it really does affect them when they want to get into a relationship with someone, because
it does.
You don't really want to get into that situation with somebody like, you're like, not me, man. I don't want to go into that cycle. I want to make it more meaningful than what mom and dad went through. And
I think it's all about finding what's good for you and not letting other people tell you what's good for you.
Right.
Just like, if it feels light to you, then yes, but if it feels heavy, then don't go there. Like, when I have conversations with my friends, either back home in Canada or here in Korea, about relationships, it's always like, it's good for you, and I'm happy you're happy, because especially back home in Canada, a lot of my friends are, married, have kids, and house and dog, and good, happy green grass, and I'm always supportive of them. I'm like, yeah, you go, you get that second kid.
One more to go.
Go. I wish whatever gender you want, I'm supporting that.
Move it.
But if it comes to me, it's like, no, thank you.
I'm just a person in the crowd, just giving you support.
Gonna cheer you on.
You have a sign. 2 down, 1 more to go.
One more.
Like the march band comes over, like
yeah.
dun, dun, dun. They're doing their rendition of Oppa Gangnam Style, and you're just doing your thing.
I won't do the Gangnam Style though. But yeah, I'm all for finding what's right for you, and if that's what's right for you, fine. If it's not, then all right, come to my rejects crowd. We'll hang out.
So, do you feel you now know what's right for you?
No, I know what I don't want at the moment. Here's one thing I've learned. I've learned not to say no with a big capital N, if you know what I mean. Like,
so like a lowercase one is okay?
A lowercase one is like,
like
no,
this.
not now. A uppercase one is like, never, big demon with red
an
nose,
absolute
never,
no?
ever. There you go. Absolute no. There's no absolute no's in my life anymore. There used to be. And I've totally went against all of them, and I'm like, okay, no more absolute no's. I am going to just live life fully, and whatever comes my way, if it feels right for me, I'll do it. Even if yesterday I said it wasn't.
Right. It's like when you go beyond the point of where you originally thought you would say no, you're in a completely different territory.
Yeah.
Even though some things are the same, but something is evidently different in your life.
Yes.
And you're just like, whoa, where am I right now?
And it makes you grow, and you're like...
It's really weird, right? When it happens, weird. And you really do feel you're in a different territory, but your routine is the same, but like something did change.
Yeah. So right now, going back to what we were saying about relationship, right now, no. But I'm not going to... Not right now. I'm having too much fun with my life right now. Traveling and all these new projects, especially with Stories on Fire.
Stories on Fire.
Having so much fun with that, actually. I have the best partner ever that is making this exciting.
And who is this partner
exciting.
that you have?
Her name is Mary Jane Liddicoat. She does her own thing. Number one is the Daily Q, which is really fun because every day she does this like blog type, and it's a question, kind of to get you to think how to expand in your life. And I met her through another friend, and what started out as just casual meeting was like, I asked her, where can I find a computer? And she's like, I have one freshly refurbished for you. I was like, wow, how do I publish these stories? I can help you with this. Here, let's whip up this website. And I'm like, wow, you're like Santa Claus with blonde hair and no beard. She does not have
no. We just want to say that the Artist Journey does not represent any of these ideas, or any person that we have mentioned may have just been based on pure coincidental nature. The following you're about to see is based on a true story. Oh boy. Yeah. So wow, that's great. So then immediately at that point, you had all these different points of access and opportunity, just asking around, and sometimes you can an answer back.
Yeah, asking questions has like opened up so many doorways to me. I'm like, So ask questions to anyone. How do you do this? How do you do that? Where can you get this? It's been an amazing experience, actually. I think people don't ask enough questions.
Why?
I don't know why. Why don't people ask more questions?
Why?
Let's ask that robot friend of yours.
Do you want to? How about we ask the people?
Yes. Why don't you ask more questions?
Why don't we ask more questions?
We should ask more questions.
Whoever has the best answer.
We'll ask another question.
Yeah, we can set up a date with you for Cleverbot.
Yeah.
That would be interesting.
Showdown.
Is it a showdown?
I have Black Eyed Peas songs playing in my head.
Oh, is that a song name? Showdown?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not gonna sing it though.
You can dance it.
I can.
And another time on Wednesday. Wednesday, Halloween, people.
Wednesday. Ibar.
How do you choose your songs when you go into it?
Me?
I've always liked your songs.
Thank
your
you.
song selections and choices.
I always seem to have like monthly soundtracks. I don't know, because I love getting songs, and I get very various inspirations. Like when I go to LET events, which is like a monthly drum and bass event here in Seoul. LET. You can check that out on Facebook if you like drum and bass and
LET.
Awesome music and live singing. They have amazing music, and they always show the set list they play, which I love.
That's key.
Yes,
wow.
Because how often do you go out and you're like, man, I love this song. How do I find this song?
And it's almost done. You're like running around like, quick, what's the song? Anybody?
And your app doesn't work.
Yeah.
Or your app says song is not in our...
You want to know this song? Let me load up for you first.
Yes.
And
Or no, your song is too obscure. We don't care.
Yeah.
So they do that, which is fabulous and amazing. People like Helix Squared, DJ Helix Squared, JPath. They just really, they throw it out there for the people, which is fabulous.
That's great.
And then I get friends, fabulous friends, like my friend Amanda. She's like posting on my wall. It's like, by the way, here's a song I thought of you. And she just did that this week for me. That song has been on repeat for me constantly.
Black Eyed Peas?
No.
Shut down?
No, that's you that put that in my head, and I'm not cutting that out.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. So when I get all these songs playing around on my iPod, and then Eshe will give us the theme of the month, like Halloween, obviously. So I'll look at the songs that I'm playing that I'm really feeling right now, because if I'm not feeling it, then there's no point. And whatever comes out strongest for me that would match her theme, and I pick it. And I say, Eshe, this is my song. And she's like, thank you.
So, for the person who goes there for the first time, okay? Yes. Let's just, it's genderless, faceless, but let's say this person is just very naive and very superficial.
Okay.
Okay? And when they see a performance that's belly dancing.
Yes.
For example, if they ever see this and they go to a point, they see the first song and the second song, and they're like, okay, I get it. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They think like, okay, this is what it is, right? But how can you always do something different, and every time you have a new event or a new song, I mean, what is the way that you can express that too?
That's interesting, because our shows really do help with that, because between the soloists and the choreographies we do, you usually pretty much get a lot, not all, but a lot of the different varieties of belly dance. Like this show this month, we're going to be using zills, which are the castanets. Ding, 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 ding,
Yes,
ding.
very cool.
And props like veils and fan veils. So, and the music styles are different. So when very, as you would call it, naive, or just someone who's not as exposed to it as much, or exposed to like...
Did you see that face value in a way?
Yeah, we do get a lot of those people, and they always end up being like, "Whoa, that was amazing! I didn't know that was belly dance."
Right.
We don't really, there is no one way to expose a person except for going, and that's one positive, very big benefit of going to our shows, is that we just throw different kinds. Like Eshe is like, okay, this style, this style, this style, and this style, and then you have the soloists. Me personally, my strongest point is fusion style. Hip hop fusion is I teach hip hop fusion belly dance class every Sunday, so that's another one. Every Sunday, 1:45 is belly basics, which is for anybody who just wants to learn the basics. But at 2:30, I teach hip hop fusion, which blends in belly dance and then hip hop elements.
So for people who don't really know, they're just, you know, from what you're talking about having those type of fusions, there must be a lot of different types of sub-categories or sub-genres of belly dancing.
Yes,
They might not realize.
There is so many different kinds of different varieties. Even like just saying Oriental. Well, is it Oriental Egyptian, Oriental Turkish? You know, like right now on our Saturdays we're learning Khaliji, which is Middle East, which is like Iranian dance. No, I'm so sorry if I got this wrong. But the Gulf. It's from the Gulf area. I'm like, I don't want to say something wrong. The Gulf area. And it's really, really fun. It's a lot of like hair whipping and just upbeat and so fun. So there's so many, like you said, subgenre. There's tribal fusion. And then in tribal fusion, you got goth, and then you got hip hop, and then you got this, and then you got that. It's just beautiful. Like.
So, for example, is it easy, or is it a good thing to kind of try to incorporate a lot of different styles when you're doing like a free dance, or do you pick one style and go with that?
When I dance, it's I don't just pick a style, it's what I am, is a way to put it. Like, it comes naturally to me. Hip-hop fusion comes naturally to me when my body responds well to it. Like, now other styles I'll practice more.
Right.
Like Oriental and the more graceful for me is I need more practice. Whereas other dancers, it comes naturally to them. Being graceful or some other form. Because every dancer is unique and has their unique voice. You can't really pinpoint one. Like in everything in life, you know, there's not just black and white. There's gray and then light gray, not so light gray, and all those names.
We could probably say that belly dancing is singing without a voice.
Yes. Yeah, it's singing. It's poetry in action.
Poetry in action. Like this.
I've seen martial arts in belly dance. Except it looked better than this.
Really? Was it like capoeira?
Yeah, actually. It was
because
more like
that's
capoeira.
the most musical form
musicality, actually,
martial arts.
My dancer, I really like, she puts martial arts in there.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I've been taking jiu-jitsu, and that was totally really helped change.
Was or is?
No, is.
Okay.
Now.
Still doing it.
Still tomorrow, I promise. Sensei.
Now you really have to go.
He doesn't like it. I call him sensei. But yeah, it's really interesting. I do feel more in tune with my body differently than even something like than doing Muay Thai, because Muay Thai is like a standing fighting style, you know, and most of the, you know, martial arts is standing. But when you go to the ground, you have no idea what you're doing, and you can be like a turtle on your back. You know, like if you're standing, you have a hard shell. You know, you can protect yourself. Maybe you can have a strong bite. But then as soon as you go to the ground and someone turns you over, you feel really defenseless and stuff. And it's you know, all martial arts do have a kind of a degree of aggressiveness. Yeah. But not all of them do. Like, they come from a really peaceful, a very meditative kind of thing that has the potential for, you know, attacking or strength or coming out of that and stuff. So usually what I like about jiu-jitsu is in the beginning, I had no idea about it. I just go 100%, you know, and you're really naive. You put a lot of muscle into it and stuff, and you're the new guy. So you're gonna get your ass kicked. You're gonna get your ass kicked. You're gonna know what a crowbar is, like how to get like a Peruvian necktie, omoplata, and all these different. No, it's not. If you're doing it, it's okay. But if
what's
someone,
a Peruvian necktie?
it's you basically.
Don't show me.
No, it's where you have to tap. You're just like don't do it. I can show you later on YouTube. Okay, that's what I meant.
Okay, because I was about to say you can't bruise this face. I have a show on Wednesday.
No, but that's why they call it the Peruvian necktie. So your face is okay.
Oh, great. I don't want bruises.
Yeah, but that's the thing, it's like a lot of common metaphors people go with that is it's basically chess with your body. You're not directly attacking all the time. If you're in a position, you have to stay there, and you have to kind of slowly start preparing and setting up for the next position, and then the other person gives you a move back, and you have to counter it or find a different alternative to get to that final outcome. So there's parts where you're just down there and you're not really moving, but if you just try to kind of just push them down and muscle them, you're just losing your energy.
So you have to be like water.
You have to be like water.
Follow the energy.
And it's kind of like being a snake. Like, if you ever watched a snake fight against a crocodile, check it out on YouTube. It's amazing. Like, snakes are crazy because what they'll do is they'll start constricting over it. And as soon as the alligator is like just huge, right? Just thick and heavy. And it'll just start to widely lash out and just try to snap it away. But then once it starts to release its energy, its adrenaline, the snake just holds on and just gets a little bit tighter, a little bit tighter, and a little bit tighter, and a little tighter, and then after it's just like an endurance thing. So it really helped me out with endurance. And sometimes the first time you do it, you're just like, yeah, I can fight anybody. You're walking on the subway, you're just looking at people, you're just like, I don't want to get in a fight. But
I can take
you're
you on.
already thinking about how could you take someone down in the middle of the subway line,
So is that what you're thinking when you're in the subway?
No, in the beginning.
You guys better watch out.
When you first do it.
You.
But I only fantasize that about people I think I can or someone who I feel like they deserve it for whatever reason. But that's kind of naive to say because you don't even know why someone would deserve to get a proven
Watch out for this one.
Yeah. But yeah, either way, like it's really interesting how you dancing or fighting.
It's the same thing, and I got that when I was studying with in New York. I had this teacher. His name is Future. He's with the House of Ninja Zenji. He's right now traveling Japan, but he was teaching exactly what you told me. He was like teaching me that, except replace martial arts with dance. So it's true. It's everything in life. You have to be like water. So
you were learning martial arts from a...
No, dance.
Oh, dancing.
Dancing. I said take out the word martial arts.
Okay.
Put the word dance.
I just wanted to be clear.
Yeah, I was not I did do some Tai Chi in New York. Yeah, that was fun.
Tai Chi is pretty cool.
That was intense.
Did you ever see that?
It doesn't look it. It's... Oh my god, it's intense.
Did you ever see the guy who... There's... In China, he's able to move a plastic bowl of water, like a really big one, and it's on a table, and he's like 3 feet away, and he just goes like this, and it moves.
I have no doubt about it. Yeah,
and
I haven't seen it.
Drags it.
Yeah.
Or there was one other guy recently where he had like a huge stretch of a board, maybe like let's say 8 feet long, and each kind of every 3 inches he put in a candle, and he light them all up. And it's like 15 candles long, like from the distance. And then he's standing on the one side, and then just by punching it, he can, just take out all the candles, up to 15.
Extinguish the candles?
Extinguish them all.
Wow.
It was crazy.
I want to try that. Can I just blow on them?
You can. Maybe that's what he's doing. He's just like this. And the last one is like so far away. He's like, ah. But it's not it. You think you'd be able to do that, but if you couldn't do that and you just had to punch, it's really hard just to punch and do it. I remember,
I can't punch.
I used to work at a convenience store my parents owned, and I think because of that place, I've always had a lot of magazines to read, just anything, because it was like I had to work there so long that I read all the magazines, even like Archie comics to like books about economy or just Teen Beat or like National Enquirer
You
or
knew
like
all the hot boys.
like trucks and Monster Wheels or something, like just anything, because I'm just like, oh man, I read everything. Or anyways, so there were some issues that they had like these martial art magazines, and they have some guy in the front and it's like black belt. You're like, oh wow, this is amazing. And there was one article about how to learn jujitsu or kind of develop your ki, which is like the energy. And he said what you can do is go into a quiet room with the lights off and turn on or bring a candle and light it.
Okay.
And then stay like an inch away, and then try to punch it until you can extinguish it 3 times in a row. If you can do it 3 times in a row, like if you do it 1 time and the second time doesn't work, you have to just restart. I'll do the part where you do it 3 times in a row, and then once you can do that, you move 1 step forward with the candle, and then you do it again 3 times in a row.
Okay.
And then do it slowly. And I'm like, I could do that. Sure, why not?
Did you?
So I went to my washroom, and I turned off all the lights, and I had the candle. I stuck it right in front of the mirror.
Yeah.
So that was the only thing illuminated. I'm like, yeah, this is so intense. This is so deep. And I'm like, I was like, whew. I didn't want to blow or anything. I'm just doing it. And then I was ready to punch, and as soon as I punched, I actually punched the candle. And all the wax went whoosh, all over the window or all over the mirror, and just like, oh shit, and the lights are off, and I'm stuck in there with the lights off and like wax all over my mirror. And then wax is really hard to get off of a mirror and stuff.
Vinegar would help.
Yeah, but I was at that time where I just didn't care, It's like,
you just left it there?
Yeah, maybe I was showing off, who knows. Just
showing off that you can.
I once punched a candle in front of a mirror.
And made a big mess for somebody else to pick up.
But it was really funny. It's just like, but I wonder, it's like, maybe if I start doing that again.
Without punching the candle.
Yes, I have more experience to kind of prepare any type of spillage or messy, accidents. Just punch the candle. If you guys can punch a candle with your bare fist, let me know.
And extinguish it.
Make a video. Yeah.
Because if they just punch it and nothing happens.
Right, it has to extinguish. If you can do it 3 times in a row, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
We can try that. We should try that. Yeah, sure. I have a big candle. I have a candle that doesn't tip over too easily.
Okay.
I'll look for it later. So let's go back a little bit more to your stories and stuff. So
amazing stories.
Your stories start on Once Upon a Time.
It doesn't start, but that's the common thread in all of them.
The common thread. Can you explain about the common thread?
The common thread is, the line is, once upon a time, not too long ago, in a faraway land much like yours and mine. I read a book about storytelling and how in every culture there's such a rich in stories. And in all these fairy tales, you have that sentence that just tells the listener, hey, we're out of reality. And we're into this other world. I love that concept because as a child I was always reading, and I loved being into other worlds, and that whole concept of the storyteller and fiction, but fiction carrying inside of it pearls of wisdom or just about humanity. There might be fiction, but there's still something of us in the real world. That whole concept, I love it. I'm a big fan of it, big proponent. And so when I read that, that about fairy tales and adventures and all that, they always have that common sentence that tells the listener, we're out of whatever we were doing. Now we're in this world. So I took that and I just ran with it in a way because it shows up in all the stories.
And can you give a little synopsis as if you're writing it on Twitter
in 150 characters
for
I don't know if I can do it in 150 characters. So far I have about 12 stories. They all have a different voice, but they are all connected.
And by different voice, do you mean also different characters?
Yeah.
Okay.
Different characters, different settings, different mood. Some are more lighthearted than others. They're all different, and they all have this common thread. Not only the sentence. So they are the stepping stones to creating the universe of the novel that's coming up after. The first story, which is what people get for free when they go to the site, my first story is The Journey Begins. And it takes place in a city called Animus Ventus, and they are ruled by men that are very highly reliant and worshipping academia, and they really hate these other peoples who are part of what is called the faith, and they're like, oh, we don't like them. And where the story takes off is that they captured the oracle, which is like the head figure. That's the plot of the first story. So what happens if you go to you go to my website and you get the first half of that story and you're like, wow, I like this, I want more. You sign up, subscribe just to the mailing list, and then we send you the whole story. And then after reading the whole story, readers have a choice. They can subscribe for 2 months or a year, and every 2 weeks you get another story.
Every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks.
Wow.
A different story.
That's pretty awesome.
Yes, and the short stories, the ones that I like, that are building the universe, is going to be for a year, so I think it comes up to about 25 stories, short stories.
That's crazy.
That word has been associated to me very often, so I'm okay with that.
I didn't say you're crazy, I just said that's crazy.
That's great.
Crazy in a good way, crazy good.
Crazy good, okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Wow, so then this whole development, having all these multiple characters and how it's building the universe itself.
Yeah.
Of this world.
Yes.
And they all live in the same universe.
Yeah.
Right.
Not in the same time.
Right.
Like, chronologically speaking, it's like sometimes in the past, sometimes in the other present, future. I don't really think there is a present, but like in a timeline, it just bounces.
Right.
But it's never 100% clear.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting though. Like, I've been noticing that a lot too these days. Like people are really interested in that kind of intricate, complex storyline where it has a lot of layers, and people are always connected in some way. Despite time or location. But why is that? Why do you think people are?
Because that's how things are in real life.
Right. But in terms of like conventional stories and stuff where it's very straightforward, I'll have like the odd flashback, but in a story like yours, it has a lot of different variety of characters.
Yes. I don't know. You want to feel attached. A lot of readers, they want to feel attached, and to feel attached to a character or a world, it takes more. It takes more to, you build up a relationship, and people love that.
Right.
And they get carried away, and if they love the story, they just want more, and I think that's one thing about people and stories. You just get attached to them, and the way to get attached to them is by building up these layers.
Right.
And it's intriguing. Like, for myself, I remember reading series when I was younger and being like, oh, I remember that from there, that other book, and it's just like exciting. And you also feel really smart. I felt smart when I was a kid.
Right, and like you said before, you do feel attached and more engaged to the story because you really do care about the people and the world that they live in. About that kind of stuff. Yeah, very interesting. Yeah, you know what? It's almost already 10:30. We've been talking for almost an hour and a half. That went by pretty fast.
I know.
That was like Korea.
That's Korean time.
That's Korean time. That was Bali.
That was an hour and a half Korean time.
Oh, yeah. So, anyways, I just want to say thanks for coming out. It was really interesting to
Thank you
really.
for having me.
My pleasure to know about the stuff that you're doing. Besides from music, and really seeing kind of like the different dimensions of things that you're doing, and it's always interesting. When you meet people, like you really don't know what they're capable of, and just by looking at somebody, you can never know what's more underneath and stuff. So, what else can people know about Stories on Fire and everything else that you're doing? Just any shout outs or what you want to let them know.
All right, for Stories on Fire.
Yes.
It's an invitation for readers to come read the stories, enjoy, subscribe. get a subscription yearly, that would be fabulous. But it's also an invitation for other artists. On my website, I do have a clear invitation. If you read these stories and you're inspired, no matter what art you do, be it visual, audio, or written, please send it to me and I will share it on my website. And I really, really want that, because it helps, it helps to build a universe that that just is being created, and B, it's just what I love is when artists connect. Like you said earlier, when we did like collaborations where you come and do your art and we dance, I don't know why, but I get a rush. I'm like, ooh, fun.
Right. Because you really do feel the feeding off of each other.
Exactly. The energy, the exchange, and just like the outcome is just always, you never know what's going to happen, but it's always amazing. So I invite all artists to read the story. Whatever comes out of it, please share with me so I can share with the world and whoever's interested. Just go www.storiesonfire.com.
Yes.
See what happens, and I hope to collaborate with you. On other fronts, there's the dancing. Well, we have, like I mentioned, the show on Wednesday in Hongdae at Creative Art Bar. It starts at 9 p.m. If you want more information, like directions, go on Facebook. You can look me up on Facebook, Kala Seraphin. I will absolutely add you if we're not already friends, and I will absolutely invite you to my show. Also, I have my weekly classes. If you're interested in taking dance, trying it, first time for Belly Basics is free.
Ooh.
At the studio is called Dream Dance Studio. It's Eshe's studio.
Yes.
It's in Mangwon.
Mangwon.
Hapjeong area. And again, you can hit me up on Facebook, and the information is all there, or Eshe, or Dream Dance Studio. There's WordPress, if you want to look at that up. The classes are there. My classes on Sundays start at 1:45 for Belly Basics, which is free for the first time, which is always fun, you know. Free stuff. Everybody loves free stuff.
Freebies.
And at 2:30 is my hip-hop belly dance fusion class, which is at 2:30. And besides that, I will have other adventures that I will be sharing on the internet, my blog, my Facebook. So keep your eyes open, because I always love a new adventure.
Right. So
Who knows?
basically, this is only the beginning.
This is only the beginning.
It's only getting started. We've already been here for 4 years, but things are actually just starting right now. Like, I'm ready now.
Okay, I got my impetus. Let's go.
I've done what I needed to do.
No.
I'm ready to go. I got everything in my bag. Yeah, so that's great. So guys, just make sure you clear your calendars for Halloween, the real Halloween.
The real Halloween.
For a
day.
very special night of dance and music.
With Nava and Eshe.
And the beautiful girls involved in harmonizing themselves with the universe.
We always do.
As well as check out storiesonfire.com. You know, I read the first chapter. That was free. I loved it. That was
Thank
great.
you.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So guys, check that out as well. You know, support. And also make sure to like our page on Facebook, Artist Journey. A lot of daily posts and from inspirational stuff, content, and anything you want to share, just share. Just roll about sharing. That's all you got to do. Yeah, we're going to have some extra interviews coming up soon. Also, for people who don't know, Thursday, there will be the 48-hour film screening.
Yes, that's right. A friend of mine is screening.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a lot of people going. So I actually have one film as well with Janet's team, our group, the Hour 25.
Yeah.
And it was really interesting. We talked about it before with Janet. And if you guys have time, you know, check out the site. Just put in 48-hour Korea on Facebook, or you can write down, as soon as you write down Dongdaemun Mega Box, you'll definitely see the event going up there.
Yeah.
Make sure you know how to spell Dongdaemun.
Yeah.
And don't write that in Google, okay? You'll get something weird. Just write it in Facebook and it'll make more sense. Okay? So yeah, just check that out. Anyways, we're going to put a lot of the events and stuff like that. And remember, just check out her stores. They're really interesting. There's 12 more as soon as you get it.
There's going to be more than 12.
More than 12. That's like we said, that's only a fraction of what's really going to be.
I just love sharing.
Yeah, we love sharing. And if anything else that we learned today, it's...
unicorns are awesome.
Unicorns are awesome. Clever bots.
Not so much.
pretty clever, kind of rude, a little bit douchey, but that's okay. And
It reminds me of my friend from England.
yeah, we won't go through that.
I was like, on that note, have a great night, everybody.
Yeah, and yes, no, toaster.
Yes, no toaster.
No toaster. Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.